Hello everyone. So I'll start with the story. I don't have a presentation as such. 10 years between 2010 and 2020 played a crucial role in my life. This is the same time that I was trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with my life. I had many interest areas, and the most prominent among them was movies. I used to watch a lot of movies. I watch all sorts of movies. No language barrier, no genre barrier. In fact, some of the days I spend time just watching movies. My best streak is watching 5 movies a day for 7 continuous days. And my best number of movies that I watched on single day is 7. If somebody would have asked me at that point of time what exactly you want to do in your life, my first answer would be a movie director. I used to dream about watching my own movie in theater and getting a standing ovation at the end credit. Creating such a world of illusion always enticed me. But movie was not my only love at that time. What also enticed me at that time was business. I used to love read articles about business, watching interviews of eminent business personalities, digging out the book that they referred in those interviews and read them. I also used to dream about building a big business and walking through the corridors of that big office that we have built and climbing heights through scaling up. When you have a passion, it is quite obvious, right? All these ideas will keep on flowing related to that particular field in your mind, right? I was also no different. There were no dearth of ideas when it comes to movies or business. But I never channeled it to a proper action plan, or I never acted on any of these ideas. And because of the same reason, I was never getting ahead in my life. In fact, I was not getting anywhere in my life at that time. Unfortunately, I came across one of the article. It was talking about having multiple ideas could be a curse. It could excite you, make you dream about it, and you tend to derive an immediate reward through that imaginary success through that dream, and finally stop you from the most important aspect, which is taking action. And that is exactly what happened with me. So I decided to put an end to it. So in 2016, I vividly remember that day. I was sitting with a piece of paper and a pen, and I drew a vertical line through the center of that page. And on the left column, on the top, I wrote movies.
And on the right column, I wrote business. And then I started writing all the positives and negatives on both the sides of the line. I also wrote what I like, I dislike, what matters to me, and what bothers me. And at the end of this exercise, the right column won on a fair margin. And that's it. I decided to pursue business. But the problem was still not solved. Though I was actively pursuing business, I was still watching movies. And the moment I started watching movies, all these old habits suddenly started rushing back, and the same pattern repeats, which is I dream and standing ovation and thinking about the rewards. And finally, one more thing added to it, which is regret. It is as if I'm having a very serious relationship with business, but at the same time, I'm cheating it by having an affair with the movies. Finally, the businessman on the right side started pulling this guy in the left down and asked this question, dude, what are you doing? So in 2017, I decided to take the most important decision of my life. No more movies. And this was a very important decision at that point of time because I cannot even imagine a life without movies at that point of time. But I still decided that I'll stick to that decision. Somehow 1 month passed, no movies. 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and now 5 years.
without any movies. Slowly and steadily, this left column started shrinking further and further and further. And finally, it evaporated. Did I feel bad about it? I don't know. Because I don't think about it anymore. Why? Because while on the left side of the column started shrinking, the right side of the column slowly started expanding, broader, stronger, and bolder. In the same 5 years, I have put a business plan in place, quit my job, started working on multiple ideas,
Incorporated a company, failed multiple times, came up with one idea.
and right now I am standing here as a co-founder of Beyond Snack, one of the most
Prominent emerging successful brand in consumer segment in India. So what really worked? I stopped chasing multiple ideas. So is it a pattern that if we start chasing multiple ideas, those will never work? I don't know. Let's see.
So the time passes. Now we are in 2020. I have incorporated a company and sitting on a failed product. Our first product was a mock meat product which actually did not do well in the market. All my savings exhausted. And I started my dependency on my father for my own survival. Not only my own survival, but my business survival, my wife's survival, and even my kids' survival. At the same time, we were already working on a couple of other products and some ray of hope we are seeing in some of the snack product we were developing at that time. It was jackfruit chips and banana chips. Both were doing really well in the market. We started getting good response from the market. But capital was always a problem, so we decided to chase capital and started pitching to various angel investors and venture capital funds. One such venture capital fund was 100x VC. They are based out of Mumbai. They somehow liked the thesis and they asked me to come down to Mumbai. So here I am in mid-COVID in 2020. I am sitting at 100x VC office, ready to pitch in front of the founding team members of 100x VC. One such member's name was Sanjay Mehta. He's a very laconic person, don't speak much. But if he opens up his mouth, that would be pure gold. So I was being very vocal about banana chips, jackfruit chips, the changes and how we are revolutionizing the snack industry, etc., etc. He was very keenly listening to it and finally he asked me just one question. Why jackfruit chips? Why you need jackfruit? Ideally, I would have taken a back with that question because we worked 2 years on that particular product. And the early stages of my back pain started because we had to stand long hours during standardization and making the product and the mouthfeel better. And this person is asking why you need jackfruit chips anymore. But somehow back in my mind, the whole episode of business and the movies, maybe it was playing because of which it clicked immediately the literal meaning of what Sanjay's question is. And that is this. Why you need to focus on two different things? Why can't you focus on one thing? Make it right, later come back and add more products. At that moment, 2016 incident repeated right in front of me. So that moment I took another decision. No more jackfruit chips anymore. And it is a very difficult decision because it is as if we are letting go one of our babies. But somehow I decided to stick with that decision. Do I feel bad about it? I don't know. Because I don't think about it anymore. Why? Because during the same time, Beyond Snack as a brand grew leaps and bounds and become the highest selling #1 banana chips brand of this country. What really worked? I stopped chasing multiple ideas. Is it a pattern that if we start chasing multiple ideas that will never work? Could be, but let's see. Now We are in early 2022 and our products is doing really well. Business is doing really well. Our products become available pan-India and we also started receiving good acceptance for our product.
But I could also sense that with the growing intensity of the business, the complexity also increases. And I could see that operations started falling apart on one side, sales are going into chaotic on the other side. And I also realized that if we continue like this, there is a chance that the business all of a sudden fall apart. So we have to do something. So I decided to reach out to a couple of our friends who are also early investors in the company and who are actively involved with the business. So I reached out to them and proposed this idea of joining Beyond Snack. And this is a tough decision for them now because they have to leave a super high-paying job and the comfort of a multinational company and the job security, and all of a sudden come to a startup with nothing but uncertainty and chaos around. And the future is yet to be figured out, right? But they took this proposal in a very positive note. They said they need to study. They came with me to Kerala. They saw the whole process. They understand the whole businesses. And finally, they decided to join Beyond Snack. So in mid-2022, my co-founder Jyoti Rajguru left her high-paying job from Mondelez and joined Beyond Snack as the lead of operations and supply chain, and Gautam Raghuraman, my other co-founder, left a high-paying and secure job from ITC and joined Beyond Snack as a head of sales. I used to handle these divisions, and it is a really difficult thing to let go of suddenly all the decisions in these regions, right? But I decided to stay back from taking any decisions from this field. Did I feel bad again? I don't know. Because I don't think about it anymore. Why? Because these business verticals started performing much more better than how it was performed under me. And more importantly, Beyond Snack as a brand reported 7x growth under the leadership of Jyoti and Gautam. What worked well? I stopped chasing multiple things. Is it a pattern that if we start chasing multiple things, we end up getting none? I think so. But let's see. In the late 2022, we wanted to launch a marketing campaign. And this time we are very clear that we only wanted to pursue one thing. But we had a lot of things. We had a taste angle, we have a health angle, we have a technology support, we have a science of cooking behind us, a lot of stories to tell. We brainstormed and we decided that we'll stick to the one core aspect of the business, which is the taste angle. So we worked with our marketing agency to come up with a marketing campaign, a beautiful campaign called 24 Karat Taste. The moment we launched it in the YouTube, it became an instant hit and it got a whopping 13 million views in just 3 months. What worked well? We started chasing only one thing from the beginning and we saved time, effort and money. Is it a pattern that if we start chasing multiple things, we end up getting none? Yes, absolutely. So to bring out a great branding exercise, we look around a lot of great brands in the world. Brands like Apple, Nike, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Google, Amazon, etc. And we noticed one very common thing across these brands. All these brands stick to their core and stop themselves from chasing multiple ideas at a time. Look at it. Apple is asking us to think different for the last 3 decades. Nike is asking us to just do it for the last 5 decades. And Coca-Cola is spreading happiness, I don't know, for donkey years. Starbucks' passion towards inspiring people, one neighborhood at a time, it started ever since and it is still continuing. Amazon's obsession towards customer satisfaction, and Google's passion towards organized information, I don't know they will ever stop thinking about in the future. So the world has proven this again and again and again, that chasing multiple ideas at a time can be detrimental. Take one idea, work on it, focus only on it, plan it, and eventually you make it success. And you have all the worldly time to pursue the next idea. I wish I had someone to guide me about this thought some 20 years back. But no regret, because better late than never, right? So if I could inspire you just one thing today, I would say restrain yourself from chasing multiple ideas, because focus is the most underrated thing. Thank you.